Let's get the latest now from CCTV's Rovert Nagila, who's live in Juba. Rovert, what have the reactions been to this peace deal?
Well, thank you, Penina. Well, there's been a very subdued reaction to news of that peace deal signed earlier today in the Ethiopian capital, Addis, by South Sudan's President Salva Kiir and rebel leader Riek Machar. Now, a lot of people here in Juba appear to be adopting a wait-and-see attitude. You remember that it's not the first time that the two sides have agreed on a ceasefire agreement, which they then pointed fingers at each other, accusing each other of having broken that ceasefire agreement. So very subdued, no celebrations. However, there have been congratulatory messages to both President Salva Kiir and Riek Machar from the United Nations. We've also had from Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta congratulating both parties for having reached this deal. So very subdued, and a lot of people basically waiting to see whether this peace deal, this latest peace initiative, will actually hold. Penina?
Yeah, indeed. It's understandable the cautious reception it has received, given January's ceasefire agreement collapsed within days. So how is this deal different, and what are the hopes it will stick this time around?
Well, Penina, that's exactly the question that a lot of people, not just inside the country here, but outside, are also asking. Now, this particular deal is hinged on 4 particular points, and all these points are intertwined together and precede each other. The first one, of course, being the ceasefire agreement. Now, after the ceasefire agreement, if it does hold, then we're going to see the formation of a transitional government where both sides will actually be involved in the day-to-day running of the government and its affairs. That's the mandate we believe that they will have. And we also believe that this deal should be in place by the 31st of July, because there's a lot of pressure on both sides to get this deal working through. Now, immediately this second bit is achieved, then what we're going to see is the two sides sit down to come up with a new constitution, which is very, very important, that will lead this country towards an election. So all these points have to be reached, but the most important point in this peace deal is the cessation of hostilities and whether it can hold. On Thursday, we heard from President Salva Kiir, South Sudan's president, directing his forces not to attack rebel forces for the next 30 days. Now, this is very, very important. He took that step as the head of state of this country, showing that he was actually interested in reaching a peace deal in a country where over 5 million people are in dire need of humanitarian assistance, and at least 1 million people have been displaced in the ongoing fighting. So a lot of indicators to be looked at, and I'm sure that there will be monitors from IGAD and the international community out there to see that this the agreement or the cessation of hostilities actually holds. This is a very important point in this whole deal, and a lot of people now watching very, very closely. And you can expect, Penina, in the coming days that there's going to be a lot of international community, not just on the government side, but on the rebel leader, Riek Machar, to ensure that he sticks to his side of that deal as well. Very, very important.
Indeed,
Penina?
Rovert, indeed. Thanks very much for those insights. Rovert Nagila live for us in Juba.